Guys, hello, hope you're well. Just want to share this video with you about some of the things that I've learned in life, some of the big lessons that I've learned that I suppose led me to where I am today, and some of the points that I've taken on board that hopefully that can become useful to you. As a reminder, I sort of run this channel really just to show people that I've built a business that I'm really proud of. I've built a business that's a multi-7-figure recruitment business, gives me a lovely life, gives my family a lovely life, gives our staff a lovely life, allows me to work from places like Sri Lanka, allows me to live in amazing places like Dubai and travel Europe and other wonderful places, and have a really successful business and a globally aligned hybrid team. I teach people how to do this, but also what I want to do in this video is share some of the lessons that I've learned as a man in his middle ages. And hopefully some of these lessons that you guys can hear from me will help you in your business journey and your life journey as well. So point number one is you never actually figure it out, guys. I think life is a continuous journey. No matter how well you do, you're continuing to learn, you're continuing to grow. Don't beat yourself up that you haven't figured it out. I certainly haven't figured it out at 44 years old. You no doubt haven't figured it out. I don't think you ever do. Just accept that life is a continuous journey and don't beat yourself up that you haven't got answers all the time. The other thing I want to say is it's taken me years to build a reputation, and it will take you years to build your reputation as well. Maybe you've already got a great reputation. Always just think about your integrity. Don't ever jeopardize your reputation. Don't ever do anything that can blow all the hard work that you've done out the water, because it takes seconds to really kill your reputation and years to actually earn it. So always look after, or have integrity at the heart of everything you do. Always make sure that you are thinking about your reputation, you're protecting your reputation at most given opportunities. All right, that's absolutely critical in business. I got someone from the UK government reach out to me just this week asking if I could support on a really important project. It's taken me 16 years being in the Middle East to get these sorts of approaches from like the UK government. I work with the UAE government. It took me over a decade to build that trust. So you've got to always realize it's going to take time and look after your reputation. Make sure you always protect your integrity. And that's probably leads on to my next point, and that is don't be in a rush to get to where you want to go. I've never really met a really super successful person who did it overnight. It's lottery winners win money overnight, but you take your time, build your wealth, and realize that the fastest way to get to where you want to go is to take your time doing that. Okay, it's going to take time to be super successful, and accept that, and that's all part of the journey. Okay, respect. The other thing I'm just going to say to you now is you've got to respect others. You've got to respect others, but don't idolize people. Everyone is full of flaws. Everyone that I've sort of idolized, there's been elements of their life that I haven't really wanted to take on board. So respect people. You don't need to idolize them. Okay, that's a key thing I want to just leave with you guys. Show people respect. There are people who are great at some things, but there's not people that are great at everything. All people have their flaws, and acknowledge that and accept that. Being a father, I just want to say now is that I work very hard. I'm sure you guys work really, really hard as well. But in 20 years' time, the only people that are really going to remember how hard you've worked is going to be your partner, it's going to be your children, it's going to be your family. So make sure that the time that you spend working on stuff, the time that you spend away from them, is actually that it's really worth it. Okay, that it's genuinely going to take you where you want to go, and it's worth the sacrifice if you're not spending time with your children. I certainly try and make sure that I spend quality time with my kids whilst doing as much hard work as I can, and it's not fair on them or my mum or my sister or anyone if the work that I do isn't worth that time. Other point I want to make is that happiness comes from within. What I mean by that is don't seek validation from others. Okay, don't believe that what other people think is going to make you happy. Really, you fulfilling what you want to do, you are the only person that will make you happy. Happiness comes from within, not from the validation of others. Okay, the point I want to make is that as you grow older, you're going to lose touch with friends, you're going to lose touch with lots of people, and that's just accept that. That's part of the journey. As you grow older, you will meet new friends, you'll meet people that will be better suited to your life. I strongly advocate for leaving your hometown. I strongly advocate for moving countries and going to live somewhere else. You create a whole new group of friendships in doing such amazing travel. Make sure that you really do go and travel the world. Make sure you meet new people that are going to inspire you, and don't get bogged down or caught up and feel that because you've been friends with someone for a while that you need to continue to look out for them. Your friendship groups will change over time. The good ones will remain. Okay, the good ones will be there through the thick and thin of it, and they'll be the ones where they might not have spoken to them for a month, but you call them up the next day and there you go, you're back in the game. But you are the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself in, and we all need different people at different stages in our life. So don't get too caught up in the fact that you're going to lose touch with people. It's just part of the journey. The other thing I'm going to say is that you are not genetically programmed to seek greatness, okay? Just remember that we don't really seek, you're going to have to force yourself and get up and really sort of motivate yourself to do great things, to get your body in shape, to get your business moving, to get nothing happens easy. You have to push yourself at all times. You have to push yourself for greatness to happen. All I will say to you is, if you're going to really change the world and business, if you're going to really make something of yourself, you need to push yourself as much as possible. It doesn't naturally come to you. So you are going to have to always push yourself from within. Okay, social media, it's something that can really positively impact your life, but also it can be incredibly toxic. You've got to understand these platforms. You've got to use them wisely. Thoroughly recommend you don't spend all your time on social media. Great for new business. It's great for building a personal brand, but understand the toxicity that comes with social media as well. I know people, the other point I want to make is I know people that have an opinion on everything, and God, what I just find that they're continually stressed the whole time, and they continually get upset when other people have opinions as well. Don't feel like you need to have an opinion on everything, okay? It's very time consuming, it drains a lot of energy. It's, more often than not, you're not going to be correct on things. You're not going to be the expert on all things. So having an opinion on everything, if you ask me, is a waste of time. Be strong in your virtues and your values, but don't feel like you need to be opinionated and throw them across on social media the whole time. Time is the most precious resource that you've got. You're never going to get that back. Make sure you use it wisely. Make sure anyone that you spend your time with, make sure any work that you spend your time with, it is actually genuinely worth it. There's one thing you're never going to be able to get back, and that is time. So use your time as wisely. When you're young, you really do think you have so much time, and as you get older you realize you have never enough. So time is precious and scarce. I used to think in my 20s that being cool was the be all and end all, and actually being cool is completely overrated. One of the joys of getting older is you realize that you don't give a stuff about being cool, and actually you being yourself is probably the coolest thing. So don't get too bogged down in style, feeling you have to be sort of the most stylish person. What I mean is, just being cool is super overrated, and don't feel like you need to be chasing that. Being yourself is the coolest thing you can do. Change is constant in your life. People come and go. They adapt. Adapt yourself and keep moving on. Despite all the curveballs that happen in life, change is always going to be constant. You're going to need to accept that. You're going to need to just roll with the punches. That's going to be absolutely fine. You can't change people, by the way. This is one thing I've tried to do, for many, many years, and I've realized it was a complete waste of time. You can't change people. You can lead a horse to water, but leave it there. People don't want to change. Don't force them to. You'll never win that battle. Just change. People will never change, and just accept that. Always, if someone turns up late from something, people are consistent as well. People turn up late, if people are disrespectful, you tend to find that those people always remain that way. Always have that in mind with people. Something I just want to tell you now is, having lost a few family members and some friends, every time you meet someone it could be the last. So really make sure that you enjoy and get the most out of that time you spend with someone. Don't take things for granted. If you value someone, don't be afraid to tell them that you value them every now and then. There's nothing wrong with that, and actually it's something that I regret not doing enough of. I lost 2 friends last year. My last conversation with one of those friends who I cared deeply for was just rubbish, and I wish I'd have had a better conversation. I was too preoccupied with something at the time to give that person the attention and time they deserved, and it eats me up a bit inside. So just remember that the conversations you have with people, try and take some value from them, try and give it your all, try and be present. Being present is something that I really struggle with, and I wish I was more present, but always try and work on being present as a parent, as a friend, as a member of the family. Being present is a gift, and you've got to try, work on that at all times. The last point I would just want to remember is, and it probably flows with a lot of what I've said here, is most of us won't be remembered in the world. I bet you don't even remember who your great-grandparents are. So spend time, value the time you spend with family and friends. Value the time with people who make a lasting impact on your life, because the chances are they'll be the ones that remember you, and they'll be the ones you'll get the most value from. Anyway, a bit of a ramble, but lots of things I've been thinking about here in Sri Lanka. I hope this has served some value to you, and I hope you all take care.